I'm 33 years old, and when I look back at my childhood, I still vividly recall the day that scared me so bad, I will never forget. I was 12 years old, and I lived in Ben Lomond, California, at the time. My mother did warehouse work, and my father was a computer engineer. It was around 8:30 in the morning, and I planned on riding my bike to school instead of walking. We lived close to the school up in the mountains, so I was able to get there alone. Humming along while riding my bike, I passed a car that was abandoned. I didn't think anything of it at the time because I was focused on getting to school, though it crossed my mind, what if? I slowed down to look inside, and I saw my cat with its head missing laying on the front seat. I started screaming for help as I was so terrified I didn't know what to do. So I got on my bike and pedaled back home in a panic. I called my mother at work to tell her what I had seen. She told me to stay home and wait for her. So I was waiting and panicking and crying uncontrollably. I went outside and looked down the driveway to see if my mom was pulling in. I blinked my eyes for a second and I saw my cat on the porch walking towards me. I screamed with confusion and fear. I picked Gadget up and she was totally fine. I thought to myself, what did I see on my way to school? My mother arrived in a panic, in total fear for my life. I explained what happened and she said I was just imagining things. I pleaded with her to believe me. I was telling the truth. Let me take you there and show you what I saw. We got in the car and drove to the place where I saw the car parked. It was a white Cadillac that had been abandoned. The car was still there, where I said it would be. My mother walked up to the car and saw a woman lying in the front seat. I don't know what happened to her, but I assumed it was terrible because my mother was screaming and running towards me to get out of there. When she got in the car, her face was as white as a ghost and she could hardly talk. I was crying and asking her what she saw. I had to tell her to slow down as she was hauling ass to go get help. We arrived at the police station to make a report of our sighting. We were told to stay there. They dispatched the ambulance and the police were on their way, I guess. It all happened so fast. When they arrived at the place where we saw the car, there was nothing there. What did we see? Where did it go? I know it wasn't a dream. I will never forget that day, and I know now it was paranormal. It had to have been. The memory is so fresh in my mind to this day, it still freaks me out, and my mother pretends nothing ever happened.